Hi, my name is Bria Bose, and this is my upper extremity range of motion measurement using a goniometer. So to begin, we have first step, shoulder flexion. The subject is seated with the humerus in neutral position. The axis of the goniometer is center of the humerus, justitial to the acromion process on the lateral aspect of the humerus. The stationary arm and moving arm are parallel to the trunk or mid-axillary line. In a sagittal plane of movement, the client's arm is raised. The measurement ranges from begins at 0 degrees and ranges to 170 degrees. And the client's read is 160. Next, we have shoulder extension. The subject is seated with no obstruction behind the humerus, while it remains in a neutral position. The position of the goniometer is in the same position as shoulder flexion. The client's arm is brought to the back of the body in the sagittal plane of movement. The measurement ranges from 0 degrees and ranges to 60 degrees. And the client's measurement is 40 degrees. Next, we have elbow flexion. The client is seated with the humerus adducted and externally rotated and forearm supinated. The axis of the goniometer is placed over the lateral epicondyle of the humerus at the end of the elbow crease. The stationary arm is parallel to the midline of the humerus and the moving arm is parallel to the radius. The client's forearm begins in an extended position and is raised in a sagittal plane of movement. Okay. The measurement begins at 0 degrees and can range up to 140 degrees. Client's read is 140. Next, we have elbow extension. The client is seated in the same neutral position, and the axis of the goniometer is placed over the lateral epicondyle of the humerus at the end of the crease. The stationary arm is along the lateral midline of the humerus toward the acromion process. The moving arm is placed along the lateral midline of the radius toward the radial styloid process of the wrist. If the client can achieve the starting position, he has full extension, which he does. Therefore, the measurement would read 0 degrees. We have shoulder internal rotation next. This subject is seated with the humerus adducted against the trunk, and the elbow is going to come to 90 degrees, the forearm in mid-position and perpendicular to the body. The axis of the goniometer is on the olecranon process of the elbow. And the stationary arm and moving arms are parallel to the forearm. The client's forearm is swung towards the body through a horizontal plane of movement. The humerus must remain adducted. The range begins at 0 degrees and is completed at 60 degrees. And he is at 50. Next, we have shoulder external rotation. The client is seated with the humerus adducted, the elbow at 90 degrees, and the forearm in mid-position perpendicular to the body. The axis of the goniometer is on the olecranon of the elbow, and the stationary and moving arms are parallel to the forearm. The client's forearm is swung out from the body in a horizontal plane of movement. The humerus must remain adducted. The measurement begins at 0 degrees and ranges up to 80 degrees. And the client's range is 50 degrees. Lastly, we have shoulder abduction. The client is seated with the shoulder to be tested, abducted to 90 degrees with the elbow extended with the palm facing down. The axis of the goniometer is over the acromion process, while the stationary bar is parallel to the sternum. The movable arm is aligned with the midline of the humerus. The client's arm is moved by the rotation of the shoulder joint straight out and away from the midline of the body. The measurement begins at 0 degrees and ranges to 180 degrees. And the client's range of motion is 170 degrees. And that concludes our video of upper extremity range of motion using a goniometer.